Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, the topic is collaborating towards nation building, and our guest is Mr. Oladele Ogunlana. Before we went on that break, we were talking about you paying me to talk about something, but I mean, we decided to waive that payment.
Okay, so, great.
Fill us in. What are you working on? And how does it help nation building?
Okay, so the Nigerian Constitution, which is the foundation of a lot of the things that we know and we don't know, has now been put into a simple, stupid version for school children, so that kids at a tender age can begin to understand the Constitution, their roles, their responsibilities, and their rights. Okay, so that publication is there. And that's what we're now trying to send out, such that every child has a copy.
It's interesting you're saying child, because I think a lot of adults need this as well.
No, at least even start from the...
That's the interesting thing, because even the adults want to know.
Yes, I
do. And it's easier when it's simple, stupid. It's 48 pages or thereabout. So when you look at it, you can tell it helps you quickly. Back to civics that we used to do.
Civic studies. Civic studies.
You know, and that's the whole idea. So now the collaboration is in getting partners to push it all out.
And nobody's coming forward?
I'm hearing things like, yeah, let's just do a few, have a, photo ops. I'm not for photo ops. That's not the intent of this project. The project is to ensure that every child has that power in his hand.
But if you do a bit of photo ops and it helps push the information out there, wouldn't you consider?
Okay.
Win both sides.
For someone that has been in this system for a long time.
And what is photo ops?
I have photo opportunity where everybody's taking picture, we're smiling, we have this book and all. What happens is that after that event, that's it.
That's the end.
So I don't get the kids to have that copy in their hands, But we've gone ahead. Unfortunately, we've had the Lagos government buying into the whole idea. So that was such a bonus for us. But the whole issue now is to actually be able to print and put a book in the hand of every child. That's where we need collaboration.
Great. Okay, please let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Tweet at us at WishShowAfrica1 with the hashtag WishShow, or SMS and WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. Jennifer, please go ahead.
Yeah, it's a great initiative. I remember the last time I was on set, I can't remember the name of the guy, I think it was PK. And we talked about how we need to start teaching the young kids about the country, about the government, about their human rights and all of that. Like, now most adults, some of them know these things, but they are not putting it into practice. And a lot of us have actually given up. Now, by the time you start educating the little kids in primary school, in nursery school, in secondary school, by the time they get to that voting age, they already understand their rights. They know what to expect from the government. They won't be easily bought. And I really, really hope and pray that you get people or printing press that will be ready to collaborate with you.
We will get. I mean, we're not giving up on it.
It's a very fantastic
we believe in the project. It will happen.
Okay, we have a message. It says, our diverse cultural heritage is our biggest strength. The visionary that is able to pull out the beautiful galaxy of the strength is what is missing. Experiencing this cultural beauty can last a lifetime for those able to explore all, and that's from Benson. Please keep your messages coming. We definitely want to take them. Yeah,
on the strength of that message, something was coming to my mind that don't you think that colonialism is part of the problems we have? Because during that period, Nigeria was divided into North and South. So even the local government administration was different, the educational standard was different. So when we were now going to come back, pull us together as Nigeria, even the nationalists that we had at that time, they were divided along ethnic lines. Chief Femi Awolowo for the South, Nnamdi Azikiwe for. So till now, we still don't have this common, like a Mandela that everybody in the country will look up to rather. I think we're all divided, so we don't have any common sense of purpose. There's nothing to rally around. Everybody's just selfish around. What do you think about that?
Okay, I like the word selfish. And part of the problem that we have, that I've identified, is that for every word, we take the negative. Okay? So when I say to people, may God bless your hustle, then you hear, But hustle is a process of work that is done rapidly and to be able to be successful. That's the part of it that I choose to see. Not hustle as in you want to go and chance someone and then you are just doing like that. But you see, we are so wired to take negative. Talk about being selfish. And this is one example that I'd love to talk about. Everything that we do, everybody is selfish. Okay? So everything that you do is for self. Let me put it that way. So a lady wants to marry a guy, and she knows the kind of guy she wants to marry. I want a guy that is like this, a guy that is like, so that I will just not have stress. I would love him. I would. It's that self. I want a nation where A, B, C, D will happen so that we can live in peace. I don't want wahala. Now, selfish positive is when you and I now begin to see it that way. Okay? We don't want this mess to go on. What are we going to do so that I can stop getting stressed daily? And that's where collaboration comes in. We then begin to sit down and say, look, what can we do? Forget government. Sorry, okay, that forgets, it might look as if I'm, but just put government aside for a moment. Now let's talk about what we can do. Something that struck me, when COVID came, did you see how much corporates brought out? Oh, come on. So if it is possible to bring out so much money in so short a time, if we begin to look around us and we see the rot in education, we see the rot in healthcare, we can begin to pull money out to sort those things out rather than wait for government.
Okay, so I like that we've talked about culture, tradition, education, and all, but I need you to break it down because talking about collaborating towards nation building is not a conversation that will be done in a day. It's maybe a lifelong conversation. I mean, we've had a whole national conference based on restructuring and we're still here. So this show cannot finish that. However, I want you to break it down and talk to somebody watching in terms of our day-to-day activities. What can we begin to do? What is that baby step that we can start taking to ensure that we get to where we want to get to in the next maybe 100 years, I don't know. But what can we start doing from now as a people, as an individual in our day-to-day activities?
Let me put it this way. The foundation for collaboration is trust. Yeah? A willingness, right? Effective communication. You can't achieve this collaboration that we're talking about. And then empowerment. Those are the things that will hold this collaboration up. Now, trust. Let's take trust. We have trust issues.
We do.
And it's not, people are not even hiding it. We have real trust issues. Empowerment. Who is empowering who?
Communication.
Effective communication. Nobody is saying anything to anyone. They don't owe us an explanation of anything. So those are the things we need to address before we start talking about this collaboration or nation building, collaboration through nation building. So we need to take our eyes off the blame game, let me put it that way, and begin to see what you and I can do in our space. It sounds like a cliche, but that's the truth. I'm saying that, as I'm saying it, I'm actually saying it to myself as well, to help me to press my reset button because I'm tired.
Okay.
So,
go.
I was going to say, in addition to that, I think discipline and teamwork should also be added to that. And I'll say discipline because sometimes I take my child to school and I'm coming back from school and I still see school children going to school lazily at 9. This is the breed of the young Nigerians that we are going to live. So what is the hope of Nigeria? If we don't have discipline, then teamwork. Everybody is selfish. Even on the road, no discipline. There's no discipline in every area of our lives as Nigerians.
Yeah, I think that resonates with my question, what I was going to ask. I was going to say, let's pick on trust and say, so how can we have trust if we're losing our values and discipline, like you said? So how do I begin to trust the next person when I do not trust the values that you are going with? I don't understand the kind of discipline that you are riding with. So how do we even start with trust?
You know, in every society, that's what you get. In every society. Hold on. But what makes it different is because there is an enforcement of order. So a lady is walking her dog in London, and you know what they do? Once the dog poo-poos, you pick it and you go. But this lady looked around, there was nobody. She didn't see anybody. She didn't think I was a body. So she just looked around and walked away. So it's in every society. You know, but because there's a likelihood of being caught. Consequence. She will do it. She will do what is right. Here, there is no consequence. And then even when you are consequentially caught, there is also that way out that is provided.
You can always bend it.
You know, so, I mean, like I said to someone, I said, whenever you see people driving against traffic, check, maybe from today on. In front of that procession is someone that is a law enforcement officer. Always. I've always checked that thing. So when you also go to a place like Obalende, when you're heading up that bridge, you see all the bikers riding towards you. Right next to it is a building that houses law enforcement. There's also the local government there. People do not even understand what a law enforcement officer should be doing. It's not your beat, but you're a law enforcement officer. You should do the right thing. But there's nobody checking. There's nobody enforcing anything. So it's a free run for everybody. There's trust. It doesn't even come up in that whole thing. So how do we begin to change the narrative? We've got to, at some point, learn to hold people accountable. You know, we've got to learn to get people to be accountable. You know, yes. And that's it. You and I need to actually begin to make noise. You know. Okay, I was going to run away from this program, you know. But you know, deep down, I mean, I just thought we can't continue to just keep quiet. You know. And one of the things that have held a lot of people back from speaking is because they would rather be compromised. Country hard.
Man must chop.
Man must chop. You know? And it's table manners. When you are chopping, you don't say anything.
Money above every other thing.
Because you see, that's when somebody will say to you that, are you the one that will solve Nigeria's problem? It's only you. You know, the people before you couldn't do it. Do you think you can? You know, so we've got to go beyond all of that and begin to see ourselves as responsible. So if you and I can begin to say, you know what, we want to tackle education. We can do it. But it's just that willingness to do it and trust that we have a common goal. And it will happen.
I think we have different realities in Nigeria. Somebody that lives in Lekki. And somebody that lives they can't align in their thoughts because it's different. If my daughter goes to one of the best schools on the island, how do you want to get me to start thinking about a child who is in another downtrodden area, who doesn't have access to books, doesn't have uniforms? So I think the social exclusion is of huge magnitude, and we need to solve that.
Who's responsible for that, though? You know, because I'm saying that, I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm just saying that growing up, you know, we had the children of the maids, the cooks, you know, the gardener, and the doctor going to the same school.
Yes.
Yeah, we had that. Suddenly it's so different now. Even some people will gather people to build schools. And then the people that they gather cannot even attend
the schools.
You know, so it's just, it's That's government, Abi? Okay, we're government, so it's government. But that's the reality. We're not serious enough. That's why I keep asking, do we really want a good government or a good nation? Are we interested in nation building at all? Or are we ready to just continue along this path because it suits us? We've seen the signs. Things are changing. So we better begin to dam this torrent that is coming, or we're going to have to answer a lot of questions.
Sorry, can I say something?
Yes.
Now, for me, I think the biggest issue is accountability, like you said, and a lot of people do not want to be held responsible for their actions. Now, if you look at the average Nigerian, you can see the Nigerian government in them.
That's why I said discipline.
Exactly. So there was I can't remember where, I think it was Twitter or something, where somebody said that Nigerians, in a way, deserve the government
that we have.
Because now, if you enter a place and then probably there is an issue, or you're trying to solve something. Now, the same way the government are always trying to hide a problem or something that's happened. Let's say something that happened in Kaduna, for example. We heard about the girl that just died, that a guy kidnapped in Uyo, and they're not releasing the body. They're not saying a lot of things, and we also found out that that particular issue has been going on for a very long time. Now, guess what? The government has been hiding that. Now, aside the government, you have the normal citizens, where something would happen in your workplace, you saw it happen, but a group of people would lie and say it did not happen. So how are you different from your government? Now, if we want change and we want to work towards nation building, we first have to work on ourselves. It's a personal thing. Now, if you don't work on yourself, how do you expect the next person to do better? You see somebody doing wrong, how do I correct you when I know I'm doing the exact same thing? Now, if I correct you, that makes me a hypocrite. It's as simple as that.
You know the expression that says, a society cannot rise above its majority. So we complain about these things, but it's probably a reality.
Unfortunately, our time is fast spent. I wanted to respond to that, but we'll keep that for another day. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me here. Yes.
Okay, so Ways was birthed from the need to inform, inspire, influence lives towards action. And this year we started our CSR focused on curbing unemployment in Nigeria. If you're a company, please partner with us by allocating internship slots. And if you're a job seeker, keep watching Ways and follow us on all our social media handles at PlusTvAfrica. This will be an all year round engagement. So tell a friend to keep all eyes on Ways. And in case you missed the quote today, the quote here it is again. Your pride for your country should not come after your country becomes great. Your country becomes great because of your pride in it. And that's from Idowu Koyenikon. I think that quote was really important. My name is Elsie Godwin. See you live tomorrow at 8 p.m. as we bring another great conversation to your screen. Have a good evening.